it keeps changing my settings. I don't know what's going on with this. Yesterday it worked just fine. Audio settings.
See, this is why sometimes it's like, we go to test all this stuff. It's working, and then we wait a day, and then it stops.
Literally. Okay. I think we're might be on now.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
All right, cool. Now I can hear you through the headphones. Perfect.
Okay. Now I just can't see you.
All right, I can turn that back on. Perfect. It's because I don't know what's going on, but the camera is like trying to dominate and keep taking the audio. I don't know why it keeps doing that. So
smack it.
Shoot, I wish. If it wasn't 1080p, I would. Doors closed. Yeah, I mean, the only kind of stuff I was looking up to talk about was really like just random stuff that I've been looking up lately, like Xbox and this really crappy reveal where they had like gameplay promised, but they didn't show no gameplay. It was all like, cinematic. What else is going on? I don't know, man. Just different games getting canceled. The Last of Us. You hear that spoiler that came out for that game?
I thought I had it as a. Maybe not. Maybe I took it out, or I've already done it, or something.
Interesting subject. That one. There's all kinds of stuff, man.
Well, what I don't understand about The Last of Us, it just went gold, and I thought the last I heard it isn't going to come out for like another year.
Well, I'm not sure what. I know
wrong.
I know the new one was supposed to come out in June, and I think that got delayed either because of the leak or that was already gonna happen. Not sure. But originally, I guess it was thought that it was a disgruntled employee, but I guess it ended up being that's not being the case as of right now. So I'm not sure.
Let's see.
But yeah, that's an interesting subject. Yeah, I got my stuff here so I can pull it up on the computer.
See,
it's The Last of Us 2.
See, that's what I thought. I thought it got delayed because of everything that's going on. And then I swear I saw someplace say that it went gold. That's what I don't understand. Let me see. Last of Us.
The second one.
Yeah, Last of Us 2 has gone gold. Confirms game director.
And maybe in pre-sale? Like pre-sales?
May 5th, 2020. That's what I don't get.
Released?
It says, after being delayed indefinitely early last month, Sony Interactive Entertainment and Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2 has finally gone gold, as confirmed and announced by the game's director, Neil Druckmann.
It must be in pre-orders because it says release day of May 29th.
I mean, here, check it out.
It has to be pre-orders.
Oh, I mean, gone gold means it went to production onto a disc.
I don't know. Yeah, because it says here release date May 29th still.
Yeah, right now, with the news, fans can rest easy knowing that the game is on track for its June 19th release.
Oh, okay, so June 19th now.
So
we got the conflicting dates as it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, it was regardless who did it or how it happened, that was kind of. I mean, I never played the first game, but I know people that really enjoy that game, so that was kind of that was kind of crappy for those people for sure.
I played a bit of the first one. I mean, I have it, I own it. I've really been wanting to get my PlayStation 3 out, and because I got some games that are still in the package that I've been wanting to play for a while. So, but after the move, I can't find my controllers.
I gotta see. I don't even know where mine. I know where my PS3 is, but I don't know where any of the cables, anything is. My PS4, I just started using it for Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Well,
which were amazing, by the way. Both of those.
yeah. I mean, I watched a lot of. Who was it? I think his name is H2O Delirious, and he went through the game trying to collect all the costumes and everything.
Yeah,
So I watched that playthrough. It looks really good.
the story is good. The gameplay is good. Yeah, I genuinely kind of reminded me that those single player games are still really fun.
Yeah.
So much
So
multiplayer.
yeah. Well, welcome to the Nerd and Geek Section podcast. I kind of like doing the thing where I record no matter what, and looks like we already started out with The Last of Us Part 2. It's called Part 2, right? Or is it
I
Last of
think,
Us
yeah,
2?
Last of Us Part 2.
Part 2. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder how many parts they plan on doing.
I don't know. It might not get more if people are. It seems like people are not happy with whatever got leaked. So,
Huh.
from
Well,
what I'm seeing,
so right now we're trying something. So this is kind of like a beta podcast as of right now. We're going to use Zoom to kind of record us, doing the podcast, and then also using Zoom to kind of show off some things. So in a way, it's like if you want the full, as of this podcast, if you want the full experience, you're going to need to check us out on YouTube. And then wherever else I try to post this at, I don't know. We don't really have a plan quite yet, do we?
nope. Well, we're gonna get it going somehow.
So with me is my good buddy George. It's been a while since we've both kind of done this. I've posted 2 old podcasts with you on it, so figure might as well let's keep going.
Let's do it.
So we've been trying to figure out what to talk about, and I meant to do a podcast like earlier this week, but when my kids are around, it gets kind of hard to do that, especially trying to find the extra time. Because
Sure.
my daughter, I mean, Brooke, she's like at my hip the entire time she's with me. So to get time to do this, it gets tough. But so I've been gathering a ton of news, and so some of this is going to be old by this point, by like a week and a half maybe. But IGN posted something interesting right before we started doing this, and it was 46 movies, I believe, that happened before X-Men. And it's just a bunch of pictures talking about random things. And I thought we'd go through some of them. Some of them we can't go through because they're very adult related, I guess.
Yes.
So we're gonna go through some of these. If anything, just try to fill up time, I guess.
Now
But
let's see what we have here.
okay. Some of these are pretty obvious, but there are a couple here where I'm like, oh wow, I kind of didn't realize that they were even, I guess, even comic books.
Yeah,
So,
like The Mask.
oh, you didn't know about The Mask?
No, that's. I mean, I've seen the movie, but I didn't know that was a comic book.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's talk about that one first.
Okay.
So have you seen The Mask?
Yes, the Jim Carrey. Yes, version. Yeah.
I told Brooklyn she needed to watch it, so I bought it on Vudu like a couple weeks ago,
That's a
and
classic.
oh my gosh, I love it. It's Jim Carrey is perfect for it. Now, from what I understand, it's kind of close to the comic book,
Okay.
but Jim Carrey kind of ran with the character, as you can see in the movie. But I really liked that movie when it came out.
No, that was funny. I thought it was funny. I guess it's based off a violent, dark character, but that wasn't really
Yeah.
what we got.
No, we got the complete opposite, which, you know, I'm the firm believer where when it comes to comic books being adapted to movies, I mean, we've seen it with all the Marvel movies. They take their liberty with it, especially with Civil
Yeah.
War. You know, and as long as they keep the heart of the character, they can do whatever they want,
No,
in
I agree
my
with you.
opinion.
I agree with you. You can't run with the same thing over and over and over again. You have to switch
Right.
it up.
I mean, that's the whole reason why Marvel has all these different, multiverses, so to speak. You know, the cinematic universe has its own multiverse now. So, you know, that's why I don't have an issue with at least Mask, because I don't think at the time bringing that kind of Mask character to the big screen would have done very well.
Gotcha.
I mean, especially when you start looking at some of these movies that we're about to talk about, very few of them did well. You know, so
I can see that after
Max,
looking through this list.
the Mask did pretty well from what I remember. But of course, you have Jim Carrey in it, and that was Cameron Diaz's probably breakout role. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite movies back in the day.
That's definitely a classic. I'm just looking up the ratings and see if it has any info on how it did, how much it grossed.
Right. But one of my favorite parts of that movie is when his little dog gets a hold of that mask and he just bites the butt
Yes.
out of that guy. It's just, it was a really good flick. It's a shame that Jim Carrey couldn't, I wish there was a Mask too, but then also I don't think it needed it, especially
No.
with the abomination of Son of Mask that happened almost just recently, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's leave it alone.
Yeah. 20 years later, let's do a sequel and have nothing to do with the original character.
Yeah, I'm not an anti-remake person like some, but yeah, that wasn't necessary. We didn't need that one. See what else we have on this list.
Well, I mean, we had the obvious. There was a Supergirl movie back in the day. Looks like it happened 1984, I think. No, not a movie. Well, I don't know. These little things that IGN kind of did don't necessarily go into too much detail, but I'm pretty sure it was a Supergirl movie. Then I know the character who played Supergirl, Helen Slater, ended up being the Supergirl's in the TV show Today's mom.
Okay.
And then remember the Superman TV show? Who played that character? I'm having a hard time.
The old school one?
Yeah. I can't. It wasn't Smallville. It was the one with. Gosh, why can I not remember his name? But it was on TV, and he played the dad.
Let me see.
Gosh, why am I?
The New Adventures.
Yes, thank you.
So it looks like Dean Cain.
Dean Cain. Yes.
Okay.
So he plays the dad. So, and Melissa Benoit plays, or Boyne, or she has a funky last name. She plays Supergirl. So, but then if you lived under a rock, or maybe you do, I don't know. There was an unreleased Fantastic Four movie. back in the day.
I see the picture, but I never seen it.
It was never released. Never released. Supposedly you can find it on YouTube now in its entirety, and you can watch it for free. How about The Crow?
That I've seen. And of course, famous Brandon Lee passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, during the filming. They always keep saying that film was cursed because of all that happened on that thing.
Yeah, it was a lot with that one, supposedly.
Yeah, that was a good movie too. I remember seeing that in theaters when it came out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like I said, a lot of these we're going to skip just because just not relevant in a way. But of course, Superman. Everybody knows about Richard Donner's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember watching that as a kid and just absolutely loving it. Let's see.
Some of these I've seen them, but I didn't grow up watching them.
Right. that one time Shaquille O'Neal played Steel in the movie Steel. Did you ever see that?
That's really shy. I don't know if I remember seeing this.
See, I never saw it. I immediately thought that it just looked dumb. That was Shaq. Me. And I think, yeah, that was 97. So I was 17 at the time. So
I was 7.
You're just a little buck, aren't you?
Yeah, I was a little young and then.
I remember seeing Time Cop, and this is the one where I did not realize that was based off a comic book. I guess in '92, Dark Horse. In '92, Dark Horse Comics did a story about it. So, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I recommend it. It's pretty good. It attempted to do the whole, time bit stuff.
Gotcha.
I still think Back to the Future.
I mean, it has to have some type of karate or fighting. That's what he does best. So it has to have something like that.
Oh, by far.
If he's in a movie, it has to have some type of fighting.
I mean, it should. Swamp Thing was a movie.
I don't remember that one.
I remember it. I can't remember if I watched it or not. If I had, I was a kid.
Yeah, see, that's one I don't remember.
Let's see. There's been a lot of Punisher movies. Of course, at least this is my opinion. I don't think it got good until the Netflix series.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, they did Punisher right for sure.
I mean,
for sure.
That last season, what was it? I think it was just because it only had 2 seasons. Season 2 was really, really good.
Yeah, they were both. I can't complain. One of the few series I actually watched from beginning to end. I suck at finishing series all the time.
Yeah. Let's see.
I like Luke Cage too. Not as much as Punisher, but Luke Cage I enjoyed. Iron Fist not so much, but Luke Cage I did.
Yeah, Iron Fist, that one. I felt like it started to get good near the end of the second season, which is a shame because I would have liked to have seen where they were going with it.
Yeah, well, Disney is all Disney now.
Yeah, and we're actually going to talk about some of that here in the news. One of my, to me, one of the sleeper hits, which now has a cult following, Mystery Men. Did you ever see that?
I did not.
Oh, dude, you should rent it or something. Ben Stiller is in it, and it's one of his I don't want to say it was his first movie, but I think it was one of his first mainstream movies. and
Mystery Men.
it's so funny. It's about these well, they're not even superheroes, they're just heroes. They don't really have powers, so to speak, but yet they fight crime and all this. It's
Just looking at the cover, it looks funny. Just looking at the cover, it looks funny.
I remember going to Easton and going to Virgin Records and going in there buying the DVD for this movie just because of the cover.
This is funny. I can't believe I've never seen this.
Oh,
I like Ben
dude.
Stiller.
Oh, this is, I mean, it's got a lot of good actors in it. William H. Macy, Paul Rubin, Greg Kinnear, Jeffrey Rush, Hank Azaria, Eddie Izzard. I mean, it has a lot of comedians in it, you know, and it's really good.
This is funny. I have to check this one out. I wonder if this one's like on Netflix or something.
I don't know. It should be on some kind of streaming streaming platform somewhere, I would think. But who knows? Of course,
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Dude, I highly recommend that movie. I even think it still kind of holds up now. You know how some movies just don't really hold up too well.
Yeah, with the times for sure.
Yeah, He-Man.
I didn't grow up with that, but like I watch it now, and I'm like, I asked my dad, I'm like, you were really into this? He's like, this was the shit back then.
I remember my parents took me to see it, and I remember it was like either a year ago or so. I watched it, or I attempted to watch it, and I go up to him. I'm just like, I'm sorry, you guys took me to see this. I mean, that was. That. I mean, being a kid and seeing, He-Man on the screen, and it has like nothing to do with, in a way, He-Man period. And yeah, that's one of those movies that I wish I can go back and tell myself, don't bother, go see.
5.4 IMDb, 17% Rotten Tomatoes. Woo. 35% Metacritic. Yeah, Masters of the Universe wasn't very well received, apparently.
I wonder why. It only had the best actor ever, Dolph Lundgren, or however you say that last name.
Yeah, this movie did not do very well.
No. Then, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Those I grew up with, all of them. I've seen every single one of them.
Yes.
The cartoon. I used to watch the cartoon. I used to play a Super Nintendo game, the beat 'em up, the little side scroller, and I used to watch these.
What did you think of the first Turtle game? Where it wasn't like the arcade one that eventually came out, which was called like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 or something like that. It was.
I think that's the one I started. I think that's the one I grew up playing. It was the one that you would like basically start from one side of the map to the end, and you get the little pizza and spin in circles, and you could play with like two. You got like two of you playing at the same time.
See, I think you're talking about the arcade one.
I think that's the one I'm talking about too.
Yeah. There's one that was before that. It was like legit side scroller, not like the isometric where it's like kind of like you had that angle. Oh my gosh, dude. I would get to a point in that game. There's this point coming out of the sewer, and for some reason I would always I wouldn't know what to do after that. It was not a fun game.
I'm watching like an evolution of the games. Oh, so I see which one you're talking about. You're talking about like the OG one.
Yes.
See, let me see.
Yeah, that one.
Can I play a video on the share screen? Is that an issue?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't be no copyright stuff or some weird.
It's not like we're doing this for money.
That's true, definitely.
I mean, I do have a donation box going, but that's a donation box. We're not. I'm not putting advertisements or doing advertisements for this.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
That's the one.
Yeah. Oh
That's
my gosh.
awesome. See, this one I never played.
Yeah. Be glad you didn't. I mean, it was tough, dude.
I
It was
played this one.
ridiculously. Yes.
That's the one I grew up playing.
Yeah.
I
I
and I
remember
love this game. I love this game.
every Friday when I was in elementary school, my dad would pick me up from school and we would go to the mall. He would give me so much money to go, play at the arcade. And that would be the game I'll put all my money into it. I had so much fun with that. So much fun.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I might be lying. That one was I played that one, but I also played this one. Hold up.
Should have been one like Turtles in Time too. That was a side scroller like the other one.
I don't know. Now I feel like I'm lying to you. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of these. It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one.
But yeah, I mean, the first Turtles movie was so awesome.
That's a classic for sure.
I mean, and then they top it with two, but I feel that they're almost two separate movies because the first one was so dark. It had
Yeah.
more of the like comic book element to it rather than the cartoon. And
Yeah.
then two was more of the cartoon element than the comic book.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible, but definitely I think the one was a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed it more.
I remember watching an interview a while back about the first one, how the director was either the director or the writer, they obviously killed off Shredder,
Yeah.
in the end. And then, bringing him back in the second one, and he wishes that he never, killed him off. Because they honestly thought, the movie wouldn't do too well.
Gotcha.
So, it's kind of funny looking back on it, how much that cartoon and those movies have had an influence on pop culture and just, movies and TV in general.
No, and they managed to stay relevant because like I said that first one, I'm not saying it was like the best movie ever made or like the best comic book adaptation, but it was an enjoyable movie. Like I watched it, I enjoyed it, I liked it, I thought it was well done for the most part.
Oh yeah, I
So I couldn't
agree.
complain. I mean, yeah, they were a little ugly looking, but I was able to get past that for the PG.
All right. Another comic book series that I think everybody has pretty much watched, all the Men in Blacks.
Yes.
That was
Except
based
the
on
latest
comics. Yeah, that
Haven't
one I've seen it. It's not bad. It's almost like how I felt about the Joker movie. I wish it was its own thing and didn't slap Men in Black on it.
Gotcha. I bought the Joker movie. I still need to watch it because I've heard nothing but good. But I understand your Joker label. When you told me about it, it made sense.
Yeah, it's what George and I are talking about is I feel the Joker movie was great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it, but I have a hard part with it being the Joker. And you kind of need to see it to understand why. But I would like it a lot more if Joker wasn't involved. I still feel that Phoenix is not the Joker. But I mean that's been said even before the movie even came out.
Yeah, I think their idea of playing off the Joker, which when you think of the Joker, you think like psychotic, like crazy. I get what they were going for, but they knew they were gonna hurt the feelings of like the comic book fans because it's not the Joker that we kind of know from the comics and the movies and the games. So
yeah,
I get both sides. I get where they were going with it, but I understand where some people are like, that's not a real Joker. But
Yeah,
I think it's a
I
more real. It was a more human perspective than a comic book perspective.
yeah. I mean, I don't have a like I said, I don't have problems with directors and writers taking liberty if they still have the heart of the character. And
Yeah,
this is where I not after you need to watch it, and we'll just have to do an episode just kind of
yeah. I think I'm gonna
talking
do
our
that
way
this week.
through it.
I think I'm
So
gonna do
yeah,
that this week
I'm gonna shut up now, and we'll talk about it.
for sure. But that's something for me to
um
do this week. Is a little homework assignment.
yeah. um Another movie based on comic, Judge Dredd. The Stallone
Never heard of
movie can be burned to a crisp. I remember seeing it in theaters and liking it, but then realizing, oh my gosh, this isn't really Judge Dredd. But the newer one with Urban, Carl Urban, that one was perfect. If you have not seen that one,
Nope,
George,
I have not seen.
dude, it is an action flick, gore fest. It's
Judge Dredd.
legit. Yes. It's legit, dude.
I'm writing these down. I'm gonna check that one out too.
All right, we'll hit a couple more. Of course, Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, that I've seen.
that
I didn't know it was a
nothing
comic book.
Yeah, nothing to do with the comic book, which I find funny, but whatever. Spawn.
Yeah,
That's the most perfect movie to say that is not aged well at all whatsoever.
it's been a while since I've seen it, but I've seen it.
I enjoyed it when I saw it in theaters. I thought it was really overpaced. But I liked it at the time, but I remember watching it maybe a year ago, and yeah, the special effects in it are horrendous.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jurassic Park came out before that. And I don't know. I
that one
don't know.
didn't age that bad. That one didn't age as bad.
Yeah, to me, Jurassic Park still holds up in my opinion.
It does.
I think it would be nice if, I actually said this because Brooke and I watched the Matrix trilogy this past week, and I'm almost to remember when George Lucas redid 4, 5, and 6. He put in new effects and all that. At the time I didn't really understand. I liked it, but then now I look back and wish I had the originals. But I also wish some of these older movies, especially when they're being transferred to this 4K resolution. I was watching Revolution, the third Matrix, and it needs a touch up. The conversion to me was not that good. Reloaded,
you can see some of the,
it had a grainy feel to it. It's like they took the image, and rather than actually digitize it all correctly, it seems like all they did was just kind of stretch the image.
Exactly.
And I also wish put a little bit of money into it, retouch up a couple things here and there, make it a little bit cleaner. I wish they would kind of do that with Jurassic Park and stuff
Having
like that.
some of those guys new Blu-ray editions, better graphic stuff. Some of those movies get that sometimes.
Yeah. I can't name any off the top of my head, but I would think, some of these classic movies could, don't doctor it and turn the Tyrannosaurus Rex into a behemoth. You don't need to do that. Just kind of go in and just touch it up a bit.
That's it. Yeah, just to kind of blend in with the times. Yeah.
So, but at least McFarlane is coming out with a new Spawn movie. Um, so can't wait for that. I'm just gonna glance over these. Have you seen the Blade trilogy?
Of course, yeah. I actually like those.
Oh, I like 1 and 2. 3 is
I was gonna say it literally in that order. Like
yeah,
first one
yeah,
was great, second one was good, and I wasn't a huge. I feel bad because I feel like freaking Reynolds does so many good movies, but there's also terrible ones that he's been in. And
yeah.
like his role's never the issue, it's the movie that's the issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could even have a whole podcast on that because when he was in one of the Wolverine movies, you know, he plays
At the end,
Deadpool finally, and he's
he
not
can't
allowed to
talk
talk.
and
What's
he
the
can't say a damn
point?
word. Yeah, that's like their biggest. I don't know if they retconned that, but that's one of those things that have to pretend just never happened.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, I think it was Deadpool 2. Have you seen Deadpool 2?
No, I've been
Oh,
slacking on that one, man. And
dude.
and I have all the Deadpool figures, and yeah, I
Oh,
suck.
dude, add that to Joker.
I need to, man. That's another one because that first Deadpool was like just one of the best movies ever.
Oh, I can honestly say I prefer Deadpool 2 over 1.
What? Wait, now I really gotta
Yes.
see this.
Yes, I will honestly say it.
I
Like
got
I
my
said,
father-in-law to watch it, and he was loving it. His wife was like, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness,"
I
through the whole movie, and he was loving it. It was funny.
I remember Evan, he told me, he was like, "Oh, grandma should see this." And I look at him, I'm like, "Let's go." So,
Oh
I had
man,
dude, I had my mom watch it, and I'm just sitting there, especially like when he had his tiny body and his little baby legs, and and I'm
I
looking at my
can't with
mom,
him.
and she's just laughing so hard. It was
Yeah, no, he was born for that role. There's just no other.
oh
He
yeah.
was just born for that. Yeah, it's just there's just certain people that fit certain roles, and it sucks, right? Because they always get stuck for that role, but he just fits it.
Oh no, yeah, I agree. Um, Now I saw this as a kid. Like I said, I'm trying to go through these fast.
No, of
Dick
course.
Tracy.
That one I haven't seen.
See, the thing I find cool about this movie was I always wanted a watch that was, because in the movie, Dick Tracy has this watch that is basically a telephone, and he
Okay.
calls people up on it and everything. And now I'm thinking, holy crap, Apple has a watch that basically does that exact thing. you
Yeah,
know,
that TV show called it early.
yeah. Um, you got Batman, of course, Tim Burton.
Yep.
Oh, that was a great movie. Flash Gordon, uh, The Shadow. The Shadow wasn't too bad. Um, The Phantom. I didn't see that one. Um, but yeah,
No, me either.
the Phantom, I think, is one of those that is based off a really old comic, and I think it just needed to stay that way.
I think the
So
one of the few times where I really like a different take on comic books was, and I saw a little bit of the season, and to me it was kind of but the concept of the way they did it was the whole Gotham. How they
yes.
kind of used some of the nobody characters from the comic books and made a whole thing about it. It
Mm-hmm.
still included like the main villains and stuff, but it wasn't so much Batman. It was like
Right.
the other characters and Gordon, and I like the way they did that.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember when I first started watching, and you find out that Bruce Wayne is just a kid, in this show. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. All these other bad guys are supposed to be, roughly around his age. And so at first that bugged me, but then I'm just like, no, just a different interpretation of it. Just like Batman Beyond, you know.
And he's like
So I'm
15, so they're not like he's not like a little kid. He's like a
right,
teenager. So
right,
Penguin and all
and
of them are like maybe 10 years older than him. 10, 15 years older than him.
exactly, and and the Joker isn't, when the Joker finally comes in, I always expected him to be older than Batman. And I think that I think in the end, I think all the ages, after thinking about it, I think all the ages kind of add up in my opinion.
If you really want to justify, you can justify like, okay, it makes sense if you
Yeah.
consider this, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
What you're saying.
the one of the bigger ones that really needed to be around his age was Selena Kyle, and she pretty much for the most part was.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think
And
we
I,
ever.
I think.
Go on.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I think this the age, the similar age for Batman and Joker is probably like a symbolism too, because that's like his alter ego in a weird way. That's always how they try to paint them too, like each other's like yin and yang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right. How about some news?
Let's see what's popping up. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in gaming between, the E3 and the events being canceled and all these games getting delayed. I mean, we could talk about anything.
Yeah.
How great Destiny's doing. We could talk about all
Oh
kinds of
gosh. No.
That's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole podcast.
We don't have time. We don't have
That's
time for
a whole
that.
podcast.
I mean, if even YouTube content creators are having issues, yeah, that's
Let me do another time strike. Beat it in 7 minutes first. Like they got nothing else to do.
Well, what's I wish one thing Bungie would let us do, and it has to be in the coding. It has to be. Why can't we load up a strike how we want and, have fun? You realize how much more just doing that would add to the game?
It's simple stuff, honestly.
I mean, didn't they do it in Destiny 1? Didn't they make it so that we can put multipliers and stuff on it?
To be completely honest with you, I know I don't know if we want to turn this into the Destiny video, but I almost feel like if they would get rid of so much bounties and do more and all these stupid modifiers and just have you chase rolls on guns, I almost feel like that was a lot more fun to do. Sadly, as much as it sucks, like going for the same gun 30 times and you never get the roll and your buddy gets to second try, I get how annoying that is, but getting rolls on guns and gear was way better. This whole mod thing, like, I get what they were trying to do, it just didn't really work.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Luke Smith did come out and said coming into season 12, we're in season 10 right now, so we're talking the fall update. I guess the bounties are going to be changed majorly, and there's a lot of quality of life issues that are going to be fixed come fall, from what it looks like. Now, the thing is, can they deliver on it? I don't know. We've been promised so much, and it sounds so good. Then when we finally get to it.
No, this season did it, man. Like as soon as I logged on and I tried to do that Forge thing, I was like, "What is this?" Like, not the Forge, the Warmind, whatever thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not feeling
the
this.
Bunkers.
Yeah.
Oh
they, and you know me, I'm like, I got resources for days. Like I played that game, but I couldn't do it no more.
So for Guardian Games, which was it's going on right now. It ends Tuesday at noon for us. They offered an exotic machine gun. Machine gun's really good. It's a slow firing, but it takes a little bit of time to load up to get going to shoot. During that time, an arc shield is created for you, so you get the shield buff in a way. Well, in order to get it, you have to complete 7 triumphs. Okay, these triumphs considered, you got to get like 100 points or something like that towards this Guardians games, for like, they had you playing like every single mode possible, and it wasn't easy. Just in the world, just doing your normal stuff, just out in the world, you had to collect 1,000 of them. That's just the world we're talking. Then you have to have, like, I think it was like either 100 or 200 in Crucible, 100 or 200 of them in Gambit. Then like 200 or 300 in Strikes. I mean, it was no. I looked at Brooke because I told her that I was gonna do this today, thinking that I could get it done in a day. No. I'm like, this machine gun will get put in the exotic pool eventually, and I'll just wait for that.
Yeah, like, and we normally get everything. It's just I log on and it's not fun. I used to not mind playing by myself. I used to, like, okay, cool, I'm by myself. Yeah. I go on grind mode, get the bounties, go on my little routine, knock it out in an hour. I had it going. If you guys were on, then we were doing stuff together, but it's just not fun. I feel like a chore. Like, I log on and just be like, oh man, I gotta do these bounties again.
Exactly. And it
shouldn't be that way.
Nothing but bounties.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way.
When we got on Destiny 1, what was it, yesterday?
Yep.
I went to the tower, I grabbed some bounties, and a lot of them were just like, kill this, kill Hive, kill this, kill that. Nothing like too serious. Something that could easily be done. I don't understand how they just cannot look at Destiny 1 when everybody was happy and be like, hey, okay, this is the solution.
Yeah, I don't get what they're. I ain't gonna lie. I tried playing Destiny 1 today too to do those bounties, and I could get put in strikes by myself, and I was getting smashed. I was low level, so I was getting destroyed. I was like, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to. So I played a little bit today. I didn't get too much done because playing solo is not as fun.
No, it really isn't. I mean, it really is a social game.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, I know this is our first time coming back to podcasting and trying it out, but we'll definitely have some fun subjects to talk about, because I definitely want to talk about, like, how much fun I'm having on these 2 PlayStation games. Not that I'm ever going to convert systems, but just each game on its own, it's amazing. I can talk about each one for days, and there's all kinds of fun stuff we could talk about. Star Wars, the Clone Wars series, Mandalorian.
I told you, I got my Xbox account got hacked, this past week.
That's insane.
And it was, some kind of, bunch of computers trying to access my account, somewhere in China and Korea and stuff like that. And so while I was down, I was playing both Tetris and Splatoon 2 on the Switch with my daughter, and I liked it.
Yeah, I heard it was fun. I've heard fun things about that game. I mean, it has like a whole esports, I think, too.
Yeah. Believe it or not. And I looked at Brooklyn. I was like, "Are you sure you want me to play Splatoon 2?" She's like, "Yeah, why not?" I was like, "Because I'm gonna think you're gonna regret it." Because it's not like how it is in Destiny, where we go as a group, and if we go into, competitive or something like that, we're on the same team the entire time.
Yeah.
When you go into Splatoon, you can play with your friends, but you could be put on the other team.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
So, but my issue was, I'm playing on, my 65-inch TV. She has, the portable Switch. So She can't play on a TV. So she started she rearranged herself on the couch so that she could also see my TV. So she's looking at where I'm at the entire time and literally trying to track me down and splat me.
That's too
every
funny.
every single time. So eventually I made her turn around and so she
Screen
wouldn't be
watching.
able to see the TV as well. But she, oh my gosh, I asked her, I was like, so do you regret it now? She's like, yeah, I kind of do. He's like, I've been playing this game for 2 years, Dad, and in 1 week, you're already better than me. I'm like, have you seen the games that I've been playing for the past like 5 years now?
I want to get one. Can you play online with those? Like
Yeah.
might be a dumb question, but yeah, I need to get me one for Mario Kart because I definitely would love to play some Mario Kart online.
I want
We
to play some.
definitely.
Oh
That's
yeah.
one of the few games. That's one of the few games I talk some smack in. I love Mario Kart.
I love Mario Kart as well. That game is a blast.
And we
And the
used to
one,
always have fun and do like random character. You have to do random character, random cars. Like we used to do all kinds of rules, like random everything. We get stuck with like Bowser and like the slowest vehicle. Like, it was fun though.
yeah. I like Mario Kart. Brooke, I'd have to buy another copy for Brooke to play against me online. So eventually I'll get it for her because she does want her own copy. But yeah,
That'd be
Mario
fun.
Kart and Brawl is a lot, or Smash Bros is a lot of fun too. So
How much is that?
the
I'm going
Switch.
for right now. Yeah.
Well, that's actually one of the I just read this news article, so you look that up and I'll talk about this. Right
They're like
now
in
the
high demand right now, right?
yeah, you can't find them. And it ends up a 16-year-old boy. His name is Nate. He created it as a joke for his friends, and he posted this basically like program, and he has it out for free. And what this program does is, as soon as any place like Best Buy, Walmart, any of the high chains has a Nintendo Switch, it automatically buys it for them. So no one has been able to get a Nintendo Switch for, a couple months now. Yeah. I know Best Buy got the the portable Switches, the smaller ones, but you can't put those on the TV. So
how much is this thing supposed to cost?
I believe 300.
Yeah, everywhere else
Nintendo
it's like
Switch's base
400
price is
everywhere.
Yeah.
I knew I should have got one. I want to get one, but I was gonna wait till like more closer to Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved the Switch, but the problem is my kids always took it from me. So I would never get to play it.
I see all these awesome videos of. I used to love playing. So, you know what we need to do, man? We need to like. I have my.
Uh-oh. Hey, I think your audio switched over again. Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted. This happens to him every now and then. We don't know why it does it, but it does. Are you there? Nope. Nah, still not there. So while he figures this out, so Disney is Oh, there you are.
There we are. God, it keeps doing that.
I know. I was talking about that while you were trying to figure it all out.
I need to get this webcam figured out.
So what were you saying? What we need to do?
Oh no, just this. I just need to get a Switch.
Yeah.
We need to get like our 64s again and play like GoldenEye and Super Smash Bros. And like the originals. Oh man.
See, I need to play it. I never had a 64. I had a PS. Yeah, PlayStation. Yeah, it was PlayStation at the time. Yeah.
My dad got a PS1 for him because he always grew up. I just played, when I was able to. That we got the 64 once it was kind of old, but I loved the 64.
I remember after school going over to friends who had, GoldenEye, and oh my gosh, we played that game for hours on end.
It's like the original Call of Duty, man. That's like the original screen watching, putting proximity mines or like remote mines and
then playing as
people.
Then playing as Odd Job and
the little guy, yep. Golden Gun or Big Head mode, DK mode.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be awesome, man.
Oh, it was so good. What news should we hit?
Let's see what we got going on. Let's look something up.
Okay, well here, I got this one because I think it's just utterly stupid. And this is why Sony just needs to hand over Spider-Man to Marvel. Have you heard that they announced what their multiverse is?
No. I'm nervous now.
Okay, so on Twitter, they said, join Spider-Man and all his friends while you swing through all the films from the Spider-Man universe of characters. Here, I am going to put this up because this is it's just too bad. It's really horrible. Spider-Man universe of characters. Complete your Spider-Man movie collection with this limited time at Prime Video offer, and then a little bit link. Yeah.
The only thing I like about the Tobey Spider-Man was the suit. Everything else about that whole movie was terrible. Because I do like that suit. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man suits when I read from that movie. Like the silver. Yeah. I always like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot better than the new one, personally.
So at least this news thing that I have, I guess I have to ask you a question. Did you ever finish the Promised Neverland?
I'm slacking, man. I'm slacking.
In this podcast today, we learn how much George really has not watched too much.
I'm terrible at
Oh no, your bike again. Your bike. This is going to go down as one of the best episodes ever of the Nerd and Geek section. See, I if you're watching the video, you can see he's moving his mouth, but nothing's coming out. I'm just laughing. I think you see the video on my side and is just laughing about it. So, I guess there's been a lot of anime that's been delayed because of this coronavirus that's been going on. Are you back?
I think so.
Okay. So, George, we've learned you have not watched all of Promised Neverland.
Nope.
Season 1.
No.
Now I'll back you up. I have read the manga up until the newest one. Okay, I haven't read the newest one yet. So honestly, I haven't watched all of it either. Okay. So I can't harsh on you too much. Now it is sitting in my YouTube to watch, but yeah. But
that first episode got me though. I saw the first and second episode, and I think I haven't seen anything else.
Yeah, like I said in previous podcasts, that was the first anime where I'm like, okay, I got to read the manga. But there's been a couple animes that have officially been delayed because of this virus that's going around.
Yeah.
Season 2 of this has been delayed until January of next year. And another anime that I really enjoyed, the Quintessential Quintuplets, season 2 has been officially delayed to the same time as well. So I'm getting sick of this virus.
My Hero Academia too. I'm so behind. Now on that one, I'm not too far behind. I think I'm like a month behind, maybe. So like 4 episodes.
Yeah, but I think a new episode. They at least tweeted out. Funimation tweeted out. What was it? I think it was Friday. Said that they're going to have a new episode out today. I haven't checked to see if it's out yet or not, but
gotcha.
But it's like I want them to finish that, but there's another anime Brooklyn and I have been watching. It's called Bofuri. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but the show is around this teenager who has never really played a game before, and she's afraid of getting hit and taking damage in this game, so she puts all her XP into defense, and she's a shielder and everything. So she basically becomes virtually unstoppable. It's a fun anime.
That sounds interesting.
But it's funny and the story is really good. But the problem is since they're quarantined, Funimation's quarantined right now, they're doing everything from their homes. So certain animes are taking precedence over others. So
sadly, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And a lot of people are mad about this, but so be it. It's just how it is. But I really miss Bofuri right now. It was just a really fun anime. But they're so close to being done with
catch up on
My Hero.
Yeah, I really want to catch up on some of these like popular ones too, like Attack on Titan and Bleach, and there's so many that I haven't seen that I know are like must watch it. At least check them out.
Yeah,
because Bleach I don't care. No, we get in that conversation, but Naruto, that's my.
You're definitely caught up on Naruto, right?
That's for sure. That's the one thing I've seen every episode on every movie.
How many episodes?
Now Naruto I haven't watched a lot. Because when they're kids, that's like 5 seasons. That has like a lot of episodes each one. And you guys should put in that last like 9 seasons, 13, something like that. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Let me look.
I remember I saw this picture on Facebook, and it was like, I guess some show. The whole premise was like this guy was supposed to find this girl or something like that. And so they put this thing on here where like all these different shows, like how many episodes or seasons it took for someone to achieve their goal. And so like Naruto was like season something when he becomes like the what
21
Haku
seasons.
What is yes yeah,
it takes like 21 seasons. It does though. It does.
And then the last one was why am I forgetting the show? The main character is Yuffie, and you like stretch and all this and that. He's trying to become Pirate King.
Oh, from One Piece, I think.
One Piece.
Yeah, I only seen a few episodes here and there. I never really like watched it. But that's another one I heard is it's like an OG.
But for that one, that was the premise, the goal, and in the box rather than a number, it just says LOL.
Isn't that show still going?
Yeah, it's like on like they're in the 900s in the episodes.
Jeez.
Right? And everybody thought Dragon Ball was bad. So all right.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just Dragon Ball characters are so cool, but I can't get into it like that.
it's okay. It's okay. We can all be wrong every once in a while. um,
I'll
do
allow
you have
that.
any news? Do you have any news you want to talk about? I know I came
Honestly,
out with a lot, but
the only thing I kind of just thought they'd be interested to talk about real quick is how you feel about people being this upset with the backlash, right? That Ubisoft's getting with the gameplay release, even though there was really no gameplay. So everybody's kind
um,
of upset that you're doing like a gameplay show, or that I think that was the. I think people are overreacting, but I also understand if you tell me gameplay showing, I'm assuming a showing of gameplay. So I
right.
understand because cinematics are always
Uh,
going to look cool. You can always look at what's it called, Anthem. Cinematics for Anthem made it look like
oh,
the most amazing game ever, and look what happened. So you can't trust
yeah.
cinematics. The cinematics were
Um,
great. It looks fantastic.
I did not watch it. My son talked to me about it, and to me, it's in a way, it's always been common practice when it comes to like, especially E3 and these game shows where it's like this is actual gameplay, but in a way, it's not actual gameplay because they recorded the gameplay and they're just showing off the video. You know,
Yeah.
I honestly, I've become so numb to it now because it's happened so many times in the past to where they're like actual gameplay, and they'll even come out and with a controller look at a monitor and it's still a video, and they're just trying to react to what the video does so it looks like it's actual gameplay.
Gotcha.
um so I'm one of those people that's like, okay, this game looks awesome, but until it comes out, I'm going to be skeptical, you know? So I remember E3, I think it was 2 years ago. It came out with this game, or they were Xbox. It was going to be Xbox exclusive. I can't remember the name of the game right now, but you had basically a dragon, and you can either hop on it and fly around with it, attack people, or you can, you know, not, run around as a normal person and attack people. Um, and, that one was actual gameplay. And I'm like, this looks pretty good. But then, of course, it doesn't come out. It ended up getting canceled.
Mhm.
So I understand people being mad about that situation, like, oh my gosh, this is an actual gameplay. But I don't know, I think people, I mean, they're trying to show off this new Xbox, and honestly, I don't think they need to.
Well, my thing is, if that was their goal, right, is to show the capability of the new Xbox, that's not what they did. So like, I understand both sides. I think some people are overreacting, but we get burned so much by the gaming industry. They do this to themselves. So people are always now are just super skeptical of
Yeah,
everything they do, every move, because even the previous Assassin's Creed had a lot of little microtransactions and double XP and XP boosters, and that takes away from those type of games when you do that
it,
kind of
it
stuff. Time savers. We
yeah,
create these barriers and obstacles so you get frustrated and then you pay. It's all like psychology. It's kind of,
yeah,
I
it,
get it. It's
it re-
business. I get it, but it's shitty.
yeah. Like I said, I mean, in a way, I don't mind it. I still wait until it comes out. I mean, in all honesty, Microsoft sold me when they said, pretty much almost everything is backwards compatible.
Yeah.
We could bring everything that we have. And I think this is where I think we're finally now in an age where, every 4 or 5 years, we're just going to get an update, you know, and everything is going to keep working as it is, because the stronger these things are going to be to to push out, that just means they have the horsepower to be able to play these older games within, what Xbox with the backwards compatibility. They basically built some kind of program or shell, and all they do is just put the game in the shell and it works. So to me, I was sold. And then of course, hate to say it, Destiny 2 is going to be backwards compatible. So it's being updated for the new Xbox. So hopefully we can have 60 frames per second or more on our game.
I know, right? Well, at least they're saying the good thing is that a lot of companies, except EA, of course, are gonna, if you buy the game now and you can upgrade for free, right, to the new systems, which is good business tactic. Like, it's a good way to get some people on your side, or you can do what EA does, where they give you a little window where you can.
Yeah, upgrade. I finally read that, and I'm just like, really, this is
they I don't get it. Like, it's almost like they want to be in that light of negativity all the time. Because I'm sorry, Jedi Fallen Order was just a small step in the right direction. It wasn't a leap. They think they did like a leap, and like, no, you did a small step in the right direction.
Exactly.
So yeah, company.
I only have one more news article that I want to get in, at least for this podcast.
Let's do it, man.
Okay. So it ends up. Were you? I know you said you liked. Now I'm blanking. Luke Cage.
Yes.
Was that your favorite one, or?
I don't know. Punisher. I don't know. I think Daredevil overall was my favorite. If I had to pick overall, because of even though Punisher was awesome with the violence, but like overall, I just really like the Daredevil character. But Punisher and Daredevil were great. Luke Cage was good, maybe okay, good. Jessica Jones, I just couldn't get into, but I know a lot of people liked it. Like, my dad liked it, my mom liked it. I couldn't get into it. And Iron Fist was just, I did not like it at all.
See, my favorite was Jessica Jones. Okay.
Yeah, and from what I saw, it was good. I just couldn't get into it, but
I really prefer the first season over the second, just because of, I think the character's name was Dorian Gray, and the person who played it was just fantastic. And I thought it was a nice departure to go from, kind of like pure action in a way with like Daredevil and Luke Cage and Punisher, to more of a, in a way, like a crime drama.
That's what it was, yeah, and that's what made it cool, yeah.
Yeah, so I really like Jessica Jones, but I'm with you. Probably my overall favorite was Daredevil. And it looks like Disney wants to keep Daredevil going.
I hope so. And I don't like always getting stuck with one person fitting that character and no one else can do it, because that's not realistic. But
I agree with you. And it looks like they want to keep Charlie Cox in. And
he played it very well.
And have you seen the latest Spider-Man movie?
No.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, supposedly one of the big rumors that was going around was that Daredevil was going to be in Spider-Man 3. And and he was basically going to be Peter Parker's lawyer. Okay.
Oh wow.
That's how they were going to bring Daredevil back into the Marvel universe. Well, another thing has come out saying that they're going to bring him back, but in a much, much different way. They want to bring him back. They want to bring Daredevil back and put it on Hulu. They don't want to put it on Disney Plus because they want to keep the R rating for it.
That'd be the smart way to do it. I mean, they own it.
Yeah. So okay, this is what a site called
the next app, Disney Adult 18 plus.
Let me go ahead and I'll share this
Disney
site.
X.
Oh, I
18
know.
plus. Jesus. Oh, man.
So, basically this site, quirkybite.com goes into is like, the thing is that there will be a season 4, which will bring back most of the cast from the previous season. The series will remain its dark and gritty R-rated setting, and the show will actually be exclusively made for Hulu. It will get a bigger budget than what Netflix allotted it, but the budget won't be as big as the Disney Plus shows. Makes sense to me. Season 4 will be a soft reboot, and it will bring Daredevil into the MCU. MCU multiverse. MCU. Multiverse will be used to explain Daredevil's MCU entry, but don't expect him to become an Avenger. Mikey Sutton states that he'd actually be teaming up with the likes of Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Blade, and others to form the Midnight Suns.
Okay.
See,
You're gonna get to play Moon Knight.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
Wasn't Dwayne Johnson looking at that role or something like that?
No, I think I hope I'm not wrong. I think they've been eyeing Daniel Radcliffe as Moon Knight. Moon Knight, Daniel. Yep, it auto finished for me. I mean, that a Moon Knight series is being worked on. It's in a pre-stage. Yeah. Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe up for the Moon Knight in the MCU.
Who's that? The one that played Harry?
Yep. Now, there's also other news articles that also says Daniel Radcliffe debunks Moon Knight rumors, but that happens all the time too. So, I mean, kind of take it as a grain of salt, but I would love for that to happen. So, I mean, it's already a little
bit about Moon Knight.
It's already a big rumor that possibly Keanu Reeves might be playing Ghost Rider. So I'm excited about that.
He could kill it. He would kill that role.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite pops, my Venomized Ghost Rider.
See, I wish I need to find that one. I'd be willing to pay money for that one. I love Ghost Rider.
Venomized. I just got the blue edition where it's blue flame instead of red. It's in my It's in my other office or my other room.
Dang. My other office.
Well, I say office, but it's like my old office. It's the baby's room now, the new baby's room.
Gotcha.
That's where I put all the new packages. I disinfect them before I open them, so it's still sitting in there.
Gotcha. So I think that would be a cool way to bring back Daredevil. I really do.
I agree. Like, and I think that people have this misconception that everything that comes into the Marvel universe is now the Avengers. Like, it doesn't have to go that route at all.
No,
you can like mention them and they can exist within the universe, but it could have nothing to do with them.
Exactly. So, I mean, just like you said. I mean, I would rather now after Endgame and that whole thing has been done and closed. I would like to see more different team ups than the Avengers. There were more teams than the Avengers in Marvel. Mm-hmm. And I would really like to see this team up, let alone Ghost Rider has been my favorite since I was a kid. So,
and if they do it right, like Punisher had a great show. Just do it. You can bring everybody, and they kind of did the Daredevil Punisher thing a little bit, but I did like what's it called, Defenders, the one that they try to do with them, their little mashup. That wasn't bad. It's just Iron Fist. Just to me, he's the only one that just didn't fit. Like, yeah, and not to hate on the guy. I think it's the guy they picked to act the role. Like, I just didn't like him.
See, I don't know too much about Iron Fist, so it's not like I can go back and be like, well, this is how he was supposed to act or be.
Exactly.
Maybe Danny Rand was, trying to be like, you know, the Batman we got with Christopher Nolan. Playboy, millionaire, going out every night, supposedly, picking up the women, but what he's actually doing on the side is something more important. And it's
Yeah.
all just an act. So I don't know. I don't know too much about Iron Fist to be like, but I'm with you. I couldn't get into the actor. It seemed like he didn't really get into the role until, like I said, near the end of season 2.
Yeah, and they're not hating. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. It just didn't fit, in my opinion. It just didn't. I don't know. It didn't work right because the rest of the character I think were chosen. The character that played Luke Cage was well chosen, and that whole show had its ups and downs. But I actually watched it through the end, which is surprising.
Yeah.
So yeah, Luke Cage is good. Daredevil was fantastic. Punisher was good. I think the only weak, in my opinion, the only weaker one was the Iron Fist.
Yeah, I agree. So if you would rate them one to, was it? There's 5 of them. How would you rate it? 1 being the top.
Daredevil.
Daredevil would be number 1 for me.
Daredevil, then Punisher.
Yep, I'm with you.
Then even though I watched Luke Cage and then watched Jessica Jones, seeing Jessica Jones show, I feel like it was better done overall. Like
okay,
the stories.
I'm
then
with you.
Luke Cage,
and then Iron Fist,
and then anything else. Then the Defenders, then Iron Fist.
Then the Iron Fist. It's not even part of the top 5.
Nah, man, it's just it wasn't that bad. Some of the episodes weren't too bad. Like they weren't all terrible, but yeah, it just.
Well, I just think casting wise, it was just not on par with everything else. I mean, even the supporting actors really weren't all that great.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge. I don't know. I just wasn't.
I mean, I remember
like the villains in Luke Cage are well done. Not the rest. Not the Iron Fist.
Yeah. I remember I stayed up until it premiered on Netflix. So I stayed up till that like 3 a.m. And I watched the first episode, and I'm just kind of like, and this is Iron Fist, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll watch one more. And sure. I ended up watching it all, of course, because the Netflix series ones were just interconnected.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, that wasn't very good.
It just wasn't.
Yeah,
that's the one that they missed on from all of them. I mean, they really swing on a hip with everything they've done so far, so they can't get a run on everything. But
yeah,
that might be one they might have to scrap and redo. But Disney should continue if they can with these same characters and the same actors, if possible.
I agree. I mean, everybody wants more.
Sure.
No, Punisher was really good. I was really surprised, especially when they said the Punisher was going to be in, what was it, season 2 of Daredevil, or was it season 3? Season 2?
I think it was 2.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Because with Daredevil, I'm all caught up except the very last season.
Okay.
That's the only one I didn't watch. And I saw bits and pieces of it with like Fisk and all that, but I didn't see the whole.
Season 3 was really good, in my opinion, of Daredevil. I like that a lot.
I don't even know if I made it that far. I think I saw season 1 and 2. I just never kept up with them.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
If it wasn't for you, half the time I didn't even know when the stuff is starting. Like, I don't even. I pay no attention. I still haven't seen Endgame. I haven't. So, no, I need to get on it, man. I'm slacking.
Oh, there's certain movies you should have seen by now, and I think out of all the ones I've learned today, Endgame is probably up there. But you're also, if I remember it, you're also not that big of the Marvel movies.
No.
So I'm
Except
not.
Ragnarok to me is the best Marvel movie ever made, and every time I get like the hardcore fans, I get so mad at me. Like it was all right. It wasn't like I'm just saying. You think it's
Well,
better than
this.
Civil War? Yes. You think it's better than with the Infinity War?
Yeah.
They're like, you're crazy. I'm like, I know, but what
Well,
it is,
you should be
Ragnarok.
happy
I
to
love it.
know the same director is coming on for the fourth one. So
Nice.
it's supposed to remain how Ragnarok was. So
I think one of the directors from Ragnarok too is doing one of the new Star Wars ones. I
oh
think
no,
he was involved.
he was
He
involved with the
wasn't
first season.
with the Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but yeah, because I saw that
It,
little
it's
Disney Plus had a little video on like the different directors of Mandalorian. I don't know if you got to
mhm.
see that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you seen the second episode of it?
No, not yet. I just
It's
saw it popped up.
yeah. That I like that. I like that.
Taiki Waititi. Taika
Yeah,
Waititi.
it's a tough name. I wasn't even gonna try to say it. I don't want to butcher it. Well,
Supposedly he's like really good with like action comedy. So I would love
yeah.
for him to, and he killed it in Ragnarok. So I would love for him to get a Star Wars one.
Oh heck yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
I think we're good with that, but we're gonna have a million subjects. I'm gonna come up with a whole bunch of ideas this week for us to talk about, and hopefully catch up in at least one of these movies.
Well, here's the funny thing. I mean, I was just, we just had plans to do the news, and then last minute found that, old comic book movies bit. And look here, we're at least everything I've recorded, which is not going to all be included, but it's at an hour and a half. And we were worried about what to talk about.
Time flew. I didn't even notice it was that late. Woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now we'll definitely have more fun with these and just talk about random stuff. I love it.
Yeah. And then I also think we need to try to I don't think you're using your new mic, in all honesty. Okay. I don't maybe you have, maybe you haven't. You've kind of sounded a little robotic at times.
Okay, so that'd be something to test.
Yeah. So it's something I learned like probably like 20 minutes in, and I'm just like, you know what, we're going. I already said this is kind of a beta podcast in a way.
Of course, it's for us testing, and again, it's just trying to learn how to figure all this stuff out.
Yeah. Plus, we're using new stuff, and
yeah, it's not connecting right, and then the webcam keeps trying to take over. So,
gosh,
hopefully,
those Windows products, I swear.
I don't know, man. Do I still sound okay at least?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like every now and then it will go like robotic, like harmonic in a way, but it isn't. Hopefully it's not. I mean, to me it hasn't been annoying. So
gotcha. I thought it was maybe the lag, but if it's my microphone, I need to fix it for sure.
So here, tap on it. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
We'll test it. But yeah, that was fun, man. That was fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll just put this up on YouTube, and
sounds good, man. I created my own YouTube account too, finally.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I created like everything with my Doc Fulcrum, my Twitter, everything with just that name.
Nice.
That'll be my business name.
All right. So where can we hit you up on Twitter?
I don't even know. Yeah, I have to figure out that information. I don't remember the @.
All right. As soon as I figure it out, I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put it in the show notes when I find out. So
one of these days I'll get you all the info. I got all that stuff down.
It's like, just like right before this, I finally put in your email address so I can add you as a contact to Zoom, so that I don't have to keep sending you an email every single time we do this.
I figured out the issue. I have to open up Zoom as an app rather than the website, and it was easy to find everything. That's where I kept going wrong.
Gotcha. So this has been the Nerd and Geek podcast. George, I'm pretty sure you're a regular now on here. So
Yep,
yeah,
that's for
yeah. I'm
sure.
sorry. I don't have to do this alone anymore. Thank goodness.
It's gonna be a lot more fun now. That's for sure.
It's really hard, to sit here and do a podcast all by yourself.
No
It's
one
like,
repeating anything or giving you anything else to talk about. You're just like,
yeah,
so.
it's exactly. And, I always like going into these, going half cuffed where, just have like points. And if we get to them, we get to them. And, just like that, I'm looking at my notes on here on my iPad over here on my right, and we didn't even get into
I
a
know.
lot of the stuff, you know. So it is what it
That's what
is.
makes it fun, though. It's good to have a script and then use it if you need it. But if you don't need it, then that much better.
Exactly. It's like we've been talking about trying to, get off this for the past now 6 minutes. So
I know. All right, man. Well, like always, thanks for having me on. So we'll do these more often. We'll have some fun.
Oh yeah. So George, at least right now, as I'm looking at it, he's to my left. I'm to the right. Maybe it's different on his. I don't know. But thank you for listening to the need. Oh my gosh, I'm tongue tied. Thank you for listening to the Nerd and Geek Section podcast. And thank you for listening, and stay safe out there, guys.